channeling the spell. This is going to be a Fire Raga. It doesn't kill somehow, and it kills Naiads to land a kill. Oh my god! Here, apparently not, because she is going for the back line. This is instant casting. Might have a chance. What's up, everybody? My name is Kason, and welcome back to the WDL. This is the Season 4 quarterfinals for the Heindler League. Yes, it is the quarterfinals, not the semifinals, as it is 1 week behind the other leagues. I will talk about that a little more at the end of the video as to how we are going to move forward and how we are essentially going to catch up to the other leagues, so that'll make more sense later, but just know this is the first round of the playoffs for this league. Taking a look at the two matchups that we are going to get into today, we have Dawn, the 4-seed coach of Inquisition. It's been really crushing it, honestly, all season, especially with that Axe team that he is bringing. It's not the same Axe team that Maverick and Greatestness have brought. It is with Summer Kilfei alongside, which is really cool to see. On the other side of the table, though, we have Kayuma, coach of Seas, currently the 5-seed, 7-4 record, has a really scary red mage comp, and also, I believe, head-to-head record over Dawn in this earlier in the regular season. So even though Dawn comes in with the better seed, I think this series really could go either way. It should be entertaining, and ultimately the winner is awaiting the number 1 seeded Zeno, coach of Polarity, who honestly has been crushing it all season long. It should be an impressive series, and I'm curious to see who will make it into the semifinals. On the other side of the bracket, the 2-seed Impaler, coach of Three-Legged Pants. Another rookie to the WDL is awaiting the winner of King versus Odaiba Diver, the Kansas City Kings versus the Odaiba Diving School. Two teams who has honestly also been crushing it all season long with 8-3 and 7-4 records respectively. I expect another banger of a series down there as well. And again, for the second time, the lower seed is the team that won the head-to-head in the regular season. So ultimately it comes down to, is the better record the difference, or is the head-to-head in the regular season the difference between these two series? So I expect two awesome ones for you guys, and let's jump into the fights. Kicking off the Heindler League quarterfinals, this is the playoffs, people. Here we go. We've got Dawn on the right side, coach of Inquisition, versus Kayuma of Seas, and it is the full Axe team coming out from Dawn. It's Summer Kilfei, Halloween Lucio, and the Cyrell. The early win Veritas team are being utilized, though, by the Orlando, and this is the full Red Mage team for Kayuma. Curious to see how this is going to work out, as I think that was a Greater Domain of Light, as the Oceanic Protection coming out from the Summer Kilfei. So elemental resistances and Wind Veritas TMRs everywhere on this map. We will see how this goes, and they're approaching on the same side of the map, so it's not going to take long for this to kick off. Water Good Dispeller is going to hit that 100% shield of Cyrell. It is going to disappear, but Halloween Lucio kicking things off instantly to get his Limit Break and Haste online is really good for Dawn. The healing power down on Miranda can be nice, as it can mitigate some of that heal back that she likes to get. And Orlando, though, with the Swordplay Thunder God, says, hey, nice haste limit break. I've got one of those too. Comes out, dodges by the Halloween Lucio, though. Good damage onto the Cyrell, but that could be an issue if the accuracy is not there. Constricting Cleave comes out for the Summer Kilfei. Frost Axe follow-up by the Cyrell, and that healing power down is massive, as that heal back from Miranda is basically nothing. The Light Blessing is here for Lucio, but he is off in no man's land, and his Halloween version on the other side is fully healthy still. Miranda coming in with the Water Gun, but it gets double dodged, and unfortunately that's not the Dispelling Thrust. It's not a guaranteed hit. The Sleeper Sweep comes out from Lucio, and Dawn is here to make a statement in game number 1. Blessing from Afar comes out. That is the Winter VC. Very cool to see, is the Ashen Seal tech coming out from Lucio, and Dawn is in great position to take this game over. Concentration from the Cyrell. Lucio will finally have something to say about this fight against his Halloween counterpart. Luminescent Arc comes down, but the dodge happens again, and the evasion is on point for Inquisition. Dispel Slam comes out for 6,400 damage, and Dawn, I believe, lost this in the regular season against Kayuma, but looking to make a statement here. Summer Fatale from the Summer Kilfei is a hell of a way to do a walk-off, but it's not quite a walk-off, as Lucio barely survives, but he will be killed by his own holiday version, and Dawn comes out victorious in game number 1 here, as I accidentally clicked the video again. But man, oh man, that was a very impressive showing in battle number 1 for Dawn and Inquisition. And you have to wonder for Kayuma, what can he change up in game number 2? Game number 2 between Inquisition and sees Dawn on the precipice of making the semifinals, but does Kayuma have anything to say about it? As the Oceanic Protection is going to be utilized again by the Summer Killfay. This is the full Axe team again, and Dawn says, do you have an answer to this team? The Wind Veritas TMR is utilized again by the Lucio, but this time it is the switch up from Kayuma, not the full Red Mage team. He's leaning on the Summer Glassy and the Tyrell. But now the question for me though is Tyrell going to have the accuracy to hit these units? He is not the most accurate unit in the world. I'm curious to see what he can get done here. He's going to walk forward. I imagine the Keenblade comes out. It does. It does get the CT up on the party as Lucio is ready to go. Hopefully he will be able to do more in this fight though, as he is going to be closer to these damaged units. The only problem is, looking at the turn order, this full Axe team is going to go back to back to back. However, that Heart of Flutter from the Summer Glassy is huge by Kayuma. It's going to separate the tank from the DPS. The Divine Power is here for the Tyrell, and that could be massive. Dispel Slam, though, is really good damage. It's going to get rid of that unit attack resist up, which means this Summer Fatale from Summer Killfay could hit pretty hard. How much damage is it going to do? 3,000, drop the CT as well, and this tank is down to about half health. If Dawn's team can whittle her down quickly as the Courage removal comes out and the heal back is not huge because of the healing power down, Halloween Lucio is going to get to go again before Summer Glassy ever does. This Luminous Grace from Lucio has to pop off. It's going to drop the lightning resist, but that massive physical health shield for Halloween Lucio is still there. Does one-shot the Summer Killfay though, which is huge. Dispel Slam is going to take out the tank, but this Halloween version seems to be stronger than the OG version. What can Tyrell do? Grudge Blade does connect with the Cyrell, so he at least has enough accuracy to hit her, but that Frost Axe is painful, and Halloween Lucio, I think, is going to claim a kill on this Tyrell here, and in fact, he's going to go for the limit break. He's going to haste himself up. This guy is so damn fast. Is he going to be able to lap? If he does, this is fight over immediately. Is he going to? He actually has almost no AP. The regular OG Lucio version has a chance. Terra Slash comes through, kills the Cyrell, and that's Monk's Subjog telling me he should have a guaranteed hit in his kit, but I don't think he can get through this massive HP barrier. The standard attack comes out from the Halloween version. He's going to lap with himself and take out his OG version, and Inquisition and Dawn is going to pick up the 2-0 series win. Honestly, GG's to Kayuma, and honestly a valiant effort, but that Axe team from Dawn is scary as hell. If you don't have enough accuracy, which it is really hard to build up, trust me, I know from experience, it is really, really hard to take down this Halloween Lucio. I think in game number 1, Miranda going for the Water Gun instead of the Dispelling Thrust was pretty huge, or at least the Water Gun not landing, and I think the switch up to this team, there was definitely a chance here. But honestly, the Axe team just did so much damage and whittled through the tank quickly. A huge, huge congratulations to Dawn for making it to the semifinals. Game number 1 of our second series to find out who else is going to be making the semifinals in this Heindler League, and Odaiba Diver is running Camilo. Okay, this is not a unit we get to see very often, but it's very cool to see here, as it is alongside Y'shtola and Helena, the Black Rose, and King is obviously opting for his namesake, King Bradley, on the side of Moore and Montleonis. This is a team that's been tried and true for him throughout this season. The Treasures Hunter's Fortune coming out from the Y'shtola, so trying to make sure that the accuracy is there. I assume it is for accuracy, not for evasion. Obviously, the agility always helps as well. The Moore getting the massive Calamity Guard on the team for the Kansas City Kings can be huge as well, though, as Camilo is slowly making his way into the team. Looking at the movement, he might actually be running Bowtie. I would have to watch again to track that movement here, as the Poise comes out from the King Bradley. So he's got a Courage, he's got his AP, and he is ready to rock and roll. Moore is going to go next, going to start channeling another spell. Should be another buff, as the Hex of Undoing is here for the new OP Helena. Calamity Guard just going to get refreshed here, so it should be on every single unit on King's team. And it looks like Y'shtola should finally be in attack mode here. Camilo going to pop Magic Wall. That will matter against the Moore, and that is confirmed to movement, which means this is Bow Tie Camilo. He's going to take the Taunting Blade from Mont. Only 2,500 damage is a very, very nice start. And I'm sorry, that's not damage from Y'shtola. It's a Protect onto Helena. Calculated Rend is just going to absolutely dumpster this Y'shtola though, and this poor 120 unit never stood a chance. King is out to a 3v2 lead here, and the Kansas City Kings are looking to take over, but if there's anybody who can turn this fight around easily, it would be this unit right here. Rose Fulmination going to come out, only 2,900 damage, gets the Black Rose healing effect, and honestly, that Mont tanked that damage insanely well. The Calamity Guard putting in some work here for the Kansas City Kings. Calculated Rend coming through, dealing a ton of damage onto the Helena, popping the kill onto the Camilo as well, but the re-raise is here. Camilo, what can you get done? Barrier Break Arrow does barely any damage whatsoever, and now Moore is looking to bring the pain. Light of Spell Sealing, though, this is going to get reflected back on her, but it barely does anything. That magic wall from Camilo, though, is going to allow him to survive, and that is a dodge by Helena. This is still a massive uphill climb, but she jukes the limit break from Mont, and now Helena is in a 1v3, but if anybody could turn it, it would be her. What can she get done here? She needs to nuke all three of these units. She comes in with a Rose Blast. It is going to kill the Moore, but honestly just tickling that King Bradley. Montleonis is going to recover to full, and the Helm Splitter is going to take out the Helena. She is going to be revived from the re-raise. Not a lot of AP on the side of King's team, but this is still a massive uphill climb for Helena. But Immortal Spirit from the Helena tells me that Mont apparently does not have the accuracy to hit. Soul Harvest deals a chunk of damage. The CT up is on King Bradley. And now there's a chance if she keeps dodging, as she dodges the Reaping Edge. Holy shit, no way. Montleonis, do you have any accuracy? You do not. Goes for the Discipline, and Helena might be able to turn this fight. This looked so ridiculously over for Odaiba here, but Soul Harvest comes through. It's going to kill the King Bradley. Montleonis is low. It just chunks the health bar way the hell up for Helena here, and somehow Odaiba's Helena is going to turn this fight 1v3. This looked so ridiculously over, but a couple of dodges. Hold on a second. The Taunting Blade is huge, but the counter recovery recovers all of that health. Briarbind is going to proc the Courage, and who is going to go next? It's going to be the Mont. Apparently he has enough accuracy to hit at least from behind, or at least a chance, as he did it the one time, but this time it does not connect. She is going to whack him with a stick for 21 damage, and Helena, the Black Rose, is going to win this fight. I will say, guys, I know people are sick of this unit because she is one of the most OP units to ever exist in this game, but that was not a Helena win the way we are used to seeing it. The fact that she put the juke moves on and dodged a couple of hits, that was actually really, really cool to see. I thought it was amazing prep by King coming into this fight, to be honest. It looked like he was going to very convincingly take this victory, but it looks like out of the jaws of defeat, Odaiba stole that one here. And now the answer or question is, what does King bring for game 2 to respond to this? Game number 2 of this series, King is opting for the exact same team. Honestly, don't blame him. Without some of the dodges, I think he would have taken that game 1 victory, but Odaiba Diver coming in with the switch up here, as King Bradley is going to get that preemptivity ready to rock and roll, but the double Gunner plus Titus team for Odaiba, this has been the team that he has opted for the most over the course of the season. March of the Dragon's Drag, Princess coming out from the Elia Rundal, Rugia ready with the Domain of Earth, and these two Gunners hit like an absolute truck. The question for me here is, can Titus tank long enough to win this fight? He honestly has great positioning in terms of where this is lined up on the map, because Mont is going to go over to the side, which is going to allow these Gunners plenty of time. Immortal Spirit on the Titus, he's rocking Bowtie with only 2 movement, and this could be scary for King in terms of the positioning. Titus is very, very susceptible to slash damage, however, though, and if King Bradley gets an opportunity to just attack the Titus, he is not going to be long for this world. Momentum coming out from the Elia with the Haste TMR to get her really, really speedy. What is Rugia going to go for? It's going to be Padfoot. So double Haste TMR on the Gunners, and Odaiba is trying to say, I need as many early turns on these Gunners as I can possibly get. I need to kill them before they get through Titus. King Bradley is not in range to deal damage, and it looks like he is out of buffs. So 68 AP is all he is going to be able to work with. The Immortal Spirit is on for Mont, though. Titus, is he in range to deal damage? He is not. He's going to get his hate up with the Saintly Fortress. The barrier will matter against Mont, but if Bradley is able to calculate a rend, it's not going to do much. The quickfire stance for the Elia is, it looks like she has 3 movements, so she does not have her movement down passive on, interestingly enough. Rugia Coming in, he goes for the target, and it's crazy. These two gunner units have so much range, but they're still not able to attack. The fact that they're getting close to this tank could be trouble, and here is that calculated Ren damage I talked about. 8k is a huge start. It also breaks the barrier, which means Mont or King Bradley, it looks like on the turn order, will be able to chain up with that, but Elias should finally be able to get damage down. Hail of Bullets comes in, 3,600 onto the Bradley is decent. Mont tanks it up very, very well. The Reaping Edge is going to proc the Courage for Titus, but Bradley is in range for damage here. Spread Blast from the Rugia is a ton, 4,700, but there's no follow-up on that attack there. More, is she able to get a heal down? She's not a supportive AI, but she might be able to since she's not in attack range. It depends. I don't know if she has any heals available in her kit. We're going to find out in a minute here, as Elia is going to go next. The Armor Borer is going to pierce through all three, though, and there's no courage there for the King Bradley. He is going to drop. The Curative Prayer is going to whiff. That was a heal, and honestly, that Curative Prayer might have been the difference. The Break Slug is going to come in, proc the Courage on the Mont, and I don't know how in the world Moore and Mont are going to come back from this. The Curative Prayer is going to fully heal herself back up, but unless she can survive longer, I don't think so. This is probably another Armor Borer. It is 9k onto the Moore, and the kill onto the Mont is going to seal this series. And honestly, really well played by both players here. I think King did a really nice job with the preparation, but the map movement there basically just kind of spelled his disaster. With Titus only having the 2 movement and able to pull all the units over to the side, I think that was really the key to the match. King Bradley was really never able to get onto that backline there, and this gunner team has been really, really impressive all season. Game number 1 honestly could have went either way, but a couple of those jukes in Odaiba's favor, and obviously with the preparation for the evasion, honestly, even though it was a 2-0, I really feel like that was a great series. So hats off to both of these players here. Let's check out the bracket. All right, guys, with all the quarterfinals matchups over and done with, these are how the final 4 teams shake out. We've got Xeno, 9-2, Coach of Polarity in the 1 seed, facing off against Dawn and Inquisition, 10-3 at the moment after that 2-0 series win. Kayuma has been really impressive all season, honestly. He's done really, really well, improved drastically from Season 3 to Season 4. So huge shout out to him for making the playoffs in this Heindler League. And huge shout out as well to Dawn for taking him down in that series. Honestly, that series did not go how I expected. I thought it was going to be a lot closer. And Dawn, I think, very clearly learned from the regular season matchup between these two players. And I think that just shows to how good of a player he truly is. So I think the next series between Xeno and Dawn should be really, really good. And the winner will be in the finals of the Heindler Cup. On the opposite side of the bracket, heartbreak there for King and Kansas City Kings, who started off really, really hot this season. The 3 seed, unfortunately, rough matchup into Odaiba Diver, I think. I think this is a tough matchup on paper versus his team. Obviously, heartbreak for losing that series, but honestly, for the things that he has going on in real life, huge congratulations to him. I'm not going to say much more than that, but in terms of family stuff, he knows what I'm talking about. Huge congratulations, and I wish you nothing but the best. Odaiba Diver, for winning that series, is getting to move on though and to face off against Impaler, coach of 3-Legged Pants, which should be another really fantastic series. 2 great players facing off against each other. So I'm excited to see who is going to make the grand finals here. And I mentioned at the beginning of the video that I was going to talk about the scheduling and essentially how that was going to work. Now, I didn't really say this earlier. The King versus Odaiba Diver series was the reason that this was delayed a week. I do apologize to the other players in this league on the other side of the bracket, and to Impaler, who had to wait an extra week to essentially see who he had to face off against. However, unless I'm awarding a forfeit, there was really no way around it. I ultimately reached out to both players and asked if they were okay if I gave them an extra week, and they were both okay with that. From there on, there was some scheduling conflict and a little bit of frustration, if I'm honest, on my end. But ultimately, the series ended up getting done, and I'm glad that we were able to watch it and I was able to cast it. So from here, the semifinals is going to be this week. It's a best of 3, just like the other semifinals of the other leagues. And what is going to happen is in the other leagues, I've given everybody 2 weeks to complete the grand finals, and I've given them the option of doing a best of 5. I don't know how many leagues are going to do a best of 5 or if they want to just do a best of 3. Unfortunately, for the Heindler Cup, I'm just going to leave it as a best of 3 for the grand finals, and I'm going to give them 1 week to do it, just like I've done these other leagues. Ultimately, by doing that, every league should tie up all at the exact same time. which is ideally what I would like to see. I don't want one league finishing off later than all of the other ones. So that is the picture, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm really looking forward to the Final Four matchup, and it should be really, really good to see. So thank you guys, as always, so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.